Holy fuck.
Good job.
I just as I'm scrolling down to find where we're going for the next SCP, I see the name of one of the SCPs from yesterday. The one that's just like a ball of a bunch of sharp objects. You remember that one? It's
Oh
literally
yeah,
just called.
yesterday, huh?
Not yesterday, my bad. Last time. It's just called Ball of Sharp. I think that's funny. I actually wanted to check something real quick. The Soul Machine. There was like a link off of this one, right? The Olympia Project. Right. Okay. I just wanted to remember what that was called. Just in case we run into it again. An old castaway? Did we beat this one? I don't think so, right?
I don't fucking know.
What do you mean? You were here.
It's been a sec.
I think this is the next one. I know I don't have webcam on. Oh, fuck. Oh, I forgot to enable the command. Do we want to do, like, recommended SCPs today? Or do we want to just say fucking do normal SCPs? Because this is pretty late stream as is. We could do it, but, like, we probably will not hit SCP-173 if that's the case.
Let's just focus on the list.
Yeah. We might hit SCP-173 today, and that's why I'm like, maybe we don't do recommendations for just list one day. I know that sucks. I'm sorry, WeFit. You've probably been waiting exactly for that. But I'm sorry. I apologize.
I mean, we could
Also,
stop a couple before 173.
that is true. Sure, fuck it. We'll turn it on then. I'm gonna have to just turn off the capture real quick. Oh man, my day can't get any on. Okay, no, we're turning it on. I'm sorry, we fit. Where the fuck is it now? It's in viewer rewards, power ups, and channel points. So manage power ups and channel points, and then I scroll down. Boop. It should be active now.
Apparently.
Allegedly. But we'll do that one after whichever one we're on, whenever someone redeems it. That's how
Let me
I've
check.
decided.
Okay, yeah, there it is listed now.
Yep.
I'm just gonna touch the button quick.
You
Oh
are?
wait, no, I have to actually send a message.
Yeah. Why are you doing it? What?
To test it.
That you can only do that twice a stream.
I'm not suggesting SCPs, Helix!
I know! You just used one of the two that's allowed!
Oh. Well,
It's
shit.
only allowed to be used twice a stream,
Why is it a
Mort.
global thing? What the fuck?
Because I don't want us to sit there and do like 7 people's suggestions in one stream.
Well, whatever. I'll give it to WeFit.
It's
There,
fine.
I've just refused it. Does that mean he can use it again?
I don't think so. I don't know though. Go ahead and use your suggestion. Oh my god, what a nightmare.
Fucking hell.
No,
I mean,
we fit. Do your
I don't have a
suggestion. I turned it
suggested
on just for
SCP.
you. Do it.
It's fine, really. I was the one who suggested we could stop before 173 today. It's fine.
Yeah. That'll just make it a really good next stream when we're not late.
Because today's kind of a off day for Helix, as I'm sure you can tell.
Yeah. Listen, I've never claimed to be a guy who can keep a sleep schedule. Ever.
And you seem to be keeping it worse now that you have a schedule for stream.
No, I kept it good for like a good 2 weeks there. Like
Yeah.
but then
2
like I
weeks.
took a nap yesterday and all of a sudden like literally could not fall asleep the entire night.
Oh, you,
I
you wanted a
literally
shit
I
post.
got into
Okay.
bed last night at like midnight, right? Like after I got off my computer. Laid there for 5 fucking hours before deciding I'm fucking sick of this. I'm not falling asleep, and I got out of bed for a while.
Hmm.
And then when I got back into bed after that, I slept until now. Ridge is now renamed the other SCP.
Rich, what the actual fuck is this?
What even is that one? That's the sex monster, isn't it?
No. It's a modern SCP.
Oh my Jesus.
Why does this one feel like a shit post?
What do you mean?
Oh,
This is the
You know
one that
exactly why.
this is the one that's Paul McCartney from the Beatles.
Yeah.
God, I didn't think about like how annoying it would be to actually find these in this list. This one? 8966? 8966? Yep. Oh. Oh, this is exactly the problem I was fucking worried about, man. These are the new articles are so long.
Yeah.
What can you sit there and tell me what cosmic top secret fucking means? That's not real.
First of all, level 6. Yeah, okay, buddy.
What is
Secondly, risk
containment
class.
class?
I'm sorry. Why do I need a fucking risk class for this? Why couldn't you just say why? Why did they just abandon?
Yeah, like
Why
there
did they
was
just
a
abandon
whole
safe
point to
Euclid
this.
Keter?
There was a whole point to the simplicity of the old stuff, and they're just like, what if we made it not even remotely possible to understand?
Meanwhile, we've got fucking Draugr class entity here.
What does
Paul
that
McCartney,
fucking
which, to be
mean?
fair,
What does that mean?
my confusion stems from why the fuck did they pick Paul? Paul's one of the
No!
ones that's
No,
still
no,
alive.
no, no, no. What do you mean this is when the Black Moon howls? No!
Huh?
That's like a huge overarching thing.
I'm good.
Dude,
You know what? Fuck it. No, fuck it. Let's read this. I don't care.
alright. I know a little about the when the Black Moon howls or whatnot,
It's
but like
okay. We don't have to know anything about it. This is
Paul
impromptu.
McCartney.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Alright. Do
Alright,
you
all yours,
want to
buddy.
take the Paul McCartney SCP?
All yours, buddy.
God damn it! I didn't want to read first.
I mean, we can switch off if it gets to be too long in the tooth.
Alright, cool. I'm also just going to be reading this as A and B. I'm not doing alpha and beta. Fuck off.
Yeah.
This is literally just them being a special snowflake and putting alpha instead of A because it's new gen SCP. I don't care.
I mean, it serves the same purpose. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why the fuck did they bother? It's literally like.
I mean, I think the thing that upsets me most is Disruption Class Obscura, but you know.
Yeah.
That means nothing to me.
Item number 8966. Special containment procedures. Information containment of SCP. Hold on, I gotta fucking snooze the ad. Again, I love that ads start 5 minutes into stream, not like 15 or anything. Information containment of SCP-8966 is of the utmost importance. Under no circumstances are the events of SCP-8666... Fuck, it's gonna be such a pain to say that every single fucking time it's on this. There's like...
8966.
Can I just abridge it to 89? Because I'm gonna be
8966.
saying this like 1,000 fucking times.
Oh my fuck.
I'm
Do you
abridging
want
it
to go
to
back to
89.
bed, Helix? Is that it?
I'm abridging it because I don't want to say 8966 a million times, okay?
Alright, fine.
Okay. Under no circumstances are the events of SCP-89... I'll do it. 8966 to be mentioned to a person who was alive during the event. For this reason, access is limited to temporal anomalies department personnel of level 5 clearance, and Sir John Paul McCartney under no circumstances are members of the O5 Council to access this file. With the exception of 057 and any members who did not live through the span of SCP-8966. I'm gonna... I can't say that on stream. Why the fuck you have to redeem and lose the glasses now of all times? You can't see it because I decided to not do webcam today, but my glasses are off and I've set a timer. Description: SCP-8966 was a period of time spanning from January 1st, 1960 to December 31st, 1969. I will take a moment to say thank them for actually putting a date in.
Yeah.
That is all.
You and I both know on most things that would be censored.
Yeah.
I mean, they also kind of have to because it's a fucking time anomaly for a specific period.
Yeah,
So.
that's fair.
But yeah, it's nice that we can actually read a date.
The anomaly has been determined to be completely neutralized, excluding extant phenomena. Draugr class anomalies are considered neutralized, despite the anomalous effects that continue despite their death or inactivity. That's still just an anomaly! What do you... That means you make the containment procedures around the effects of the anomaly. That's not a Draugr class entity, that doesn't change anything. Wait, no! Okay, so how hard is it to contain? That's the question we're asking here. And the answer we're giving is it's neutralized, but it still has effects. What?
I mean,
What do you mean?
okay, so it's not actively causing anomalous effects, but what it did enable while it was active is still present.
Yeah, and that's part of
So
it.
like its byproducts are still around.
So let's say Jamaican Joe's backyard junkyard. The guy who created that is dead. So
Yes.
the effects of that SCP are the thing he left behind. But that's just labeled as the SCP because that's the fucking anomalous thing right now.
All right, listen. I've got a toaster. I put bread in it. Out comes toast. I destroy the toaster. The toast does not turn back into bread. It is still toast.
Yeah,
Maybe yours doesn't.
yours doesn't. Do you think the guy knows he's in SCP of all places? Who? Paul McCartney?
Probably.
I don't know if Paul McCartney knows or knew. Is Paul McCartney still alive? I don't remember.
Yes, that's why I said earlier, why did they choose
I got him.
Just when I
Yo.
thought stream couldn't get any fucking worse, dude.
What do you mean? What seems to be a problem?
Alright, it
actually,
looks
what
like we're
happened?
back up at least. I'm so upset. Oh.
Nils, do you want me to read this one?
No, it's fine. I can keep going.
Are you sure?
It's just really crazy that they have to leave a footnote saying what a Draugr class containment thing is, because this is probably the only article that ever uses it. This probably isn't a real containment class.
I mean, you're welcome to go
If
fact
you
check
need
that.
a footnote to describe what a Draugr class means, then you don't use it. You put fucking, like, Keter on the thing and move on.
I don't know why they don't have subclasses for this kind of shit, by the way.
Yeah. I
Like,
wish they at least still had, like, Keter Euclid safe,
that's
and
what I
then
mean.
this was,
Have base
like,
containment class be
yeah.
the standard, like, 5 or so-ish. And then all this fancy little other things are technical
Because
subclasses.
this
That tells me
literally,
nothing.
this means nothing. We don't know how dangerous it is. Unless that's what this is supposed to mean, and they were just like,
I
oh, yeah.
guess?
What does
But
caution
also,
mean?
how bad is it too?
Yeah, what
How
is
cautious we
caution?
talking here in this clandestine organization? I we shouldn't keep harping on this. We need to get through
Yeah.
this.
SCP-8... Oh, my timer's over. Good, I've
Cool,
successfully
still long
managed to
enough.
argue long enough to deal with the timer. SCP-8966 was a temporal loop, estimated to have repeated around 340 times before the death of the cause. SCP-8966-A. Due to the destabilizing effects of SCP-8966, the period of time it covers is unsuitable for temporal travel. Attempts to study the anomaly by traveling back in time have resulted in loss of personnel.
Huge.
For this reason, SCP-8966 has been designated as Disruption Class Obscurum due to the amount of disruption caused by the anomaly being unknown and potentially unfit.
Great.
I never want to read a new SCP again. The fact that they literally have to describe like
There's
what
so many
each of
fucking
these
footnotes.
bullshit things are in the article is like nonsensical, like just dumb bullshit. Alright. 8966 is known to have held memory affecting properties, allowing the veil to remain intact despite the repetition of the loop. This is also directly. Oh, no. I put a word in there. This also directly correlates to the current timeline, with those who lived through the anomaly often recalling memories of what happened inside various cycles of SCP-8966, with some sense of cognitive dissonance between it and the events of the final iteration of SCP-8966, what is currently considered baseline reality. If someone who lived through the years of 1960 to 1969 is told of SCP-8966, they will experience an influx of memories from their time in 8966. This will lead to mental degradation and frequent dissociative episodes. SCP-8966-A is a corpse currently contained in a high-security item storage locker at Containment Area 111. The anomaly was likely murdered or died in a struggle. There was a knife wound through the back of the skull, as well as several similar wounds in its chest area. It is to be contained under the cover story of a visual info hazard that has been deemed too dangerous to study. Why are we like...
What? Why is that the cover story? What?
Why do you need a cover story in the Foundation? You're working in the place that deals
a
with things that
corpse!
can melt your brain by looking at them. You don't need
It's
a
a corpse!
cover story to people from looking at it. You tell them it's a mimetic hazard and not to look at it. You don't need to tell them that it's the fucking corpse that makes you remember your past lives. Like, that's... God.
Fucking God.
Oh, sorry. Where was I? Cover a visual story info, dangerous to study. Ad starts in a minute, and I can't snooze this one, so sorry. SCP-8961, or 6... How did I even get 61? SCP-8966-A does
You
not
missed a
hold...
couple sentences.
Did I?
All requests to view or test.
All requests to view or test SCP-8966 are to be summarily denied. I know there's A there, SCP-86...
8966.
SCP-8966-A does not hold resemblance to anyone known to be alive through or before the time span of SCP-8966.
Fantastic.
SCP-8966-B is Sir James Paul McCartney. What's this footnote? What is this? Singer and instrumentalist
Okay,
on
so
the.
it just
It's the
found it flat
fucking
out is.
Beatles guy!
It's just that guy.
Though SCP-8966-B himself is largely non-anomalous, he was found to be
So,
completely immune to the memory-affecting properties of SCP-8966. What do they mean by he's largely non-anomalous?
He's
Does this link to a
probably
different SCP
fine.
that he's just fucking... God damn it, I
There's
knew
another
it!
one that's just the fucking Beatles.
Well, yeah, of course.
What do you mean risk class notice?
Okay, I'll at least cut them some slack. I am glad that this is just straight up I'm glad that this isn't a random link to an unrelated thing. This is about fucking Paul McCartney.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, I can at least cut them some slack for throwing that in there. That's funny. We should be hitting an ad break here, so I'll wait a moment before continuing. Oh, so this is the
So
guy,
this is the
says
guy.
we.
God, it sure fucking is with it. It sure is. I just looked at the discovery log, and I see SCP-8966 was first discovered around Detroit, Michigan. So that's a hell of a fucking
Oh
opener.
my god.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh.
Alright. Did not affect him, and knowledge of heavily classified anomalies being given to SCP-8966-B debate followed in the... Hold on, I'm gonna start that over.
Yeah, please, God. Are you sure you're good
Oh,
to
no,
read?
I think I started reading from the wrong place is what happened there.
Yeah. Are you sure you're good to read? I can take it. It's fine.
You can take it after end of file. How about that?
All right. That'll do.
Yeah.
You still have to
After
request another
psychological
review.
testing to ensure that the mental degradation caused by SCP-8966 did not affect him, and knowledge of heavily classified anomalies being given by SCP-8966-B, debate followed in the Temporal Anomalies Division. It was decided by 05-7, what could this footnote possibly be? We're not out of the fucking first 3 paragraphs yet. Cool. You remember when we used to read SCPs and we got no information on the O5s? Because they're meant to be mysterious and we don't know anything about them, and then people are putting footnotes saying...
There might be things of, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Stop.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
It was decided by 057 that SCP-8966-B was be integrated into the Foundation to better research the anomaly. End of file. View addendums. Identity verified. Addendums below. I think I particularly have a hard time with a lot of numbers. It's like,
I've noticed.
this throws me off so much, because I'll get into reading something, and then it's just like broken up by that. And then I'm like, alright, I've got to stop and think about how to read this.
Okay. He looks, please. Addendum 8966-1, Discovery Log. Due to prior anomalous phenomena associated with the Beatles, it was deemed appropriate to study the beliefs around to study beliefs around them. Hume, what the fuck? Okay.
I know what a Hume level. It's like a
Well,
measurement. It's a measurement of reality.
Reality's local strength. What the? Okay, fine. So just
It's basically, has reality been bended in this area by some entity capable of such a thing?
Great. Okay, fine. Sure. Hume levels and believers of the conspiracy Paul is dead. Another fucking footnote. I'm gonna strangle someone. This conspiracy centered around the idea that Paul McCartney died on November 9th of 96 due to a car accident. Great.
Is that real?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm kind of curious.
Helix, this was a conspiracy that it probably started in the 60s.
Oh, yeah, it's real.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. It's really weird, but
Yeah, that's all right. Fuck the SCP stream. We're reading the Wikipedia
You
page.
need to remember that's during the fucking age of psychedelics and people reading into lyrics when they didn't really need to.
Bill Cipher is Hume Among Us. Thank you. Imagine there's a universe where he's lived long enough to become an SCP fan. Who? Me? Or like Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney. Anyway, I'm just gonna take that one from the top. Human levels of believers of the conspiracy Paul is dead are slightly lower than in the average person. SCP-8966 was first discovered around Detroit, Michigan, when looking into possible anomalous causes of the conspiracy theory. It was deemed appropriate to interview Sir James Paul McCartney and test for any anomalous abilities.
Okay, so this is literally just saying like some reality bender implanted the memories, saying Paul is dead.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. All right. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted, interviewed Sir James Paul McCartney. Notes: Doctor is given a patient in Foundation medical care with arraignments of amnestics given daily to allow him to function properly and contain an SCP-8966 information breach. Great. Okay, who's so?
Who the hell is Paul McCartney?
There's that's a good question.
I don't know if I'm worthy.
Ridge, this was your idea.
Yeah.
Ridge,
Fuck
do you
you,
want to
you
be
get to
Paul
be British for
McCartney?
this.
He's not saying whether or not he wants to be Paul McCartney.
Give me a second. I have to remember what Paul McCartney sounds like.
You don't have to. You could you don't have to.
I'm
One
gonna
sec.
change the title of stream.
Maybe Paul's the author of this SCP. You know what? I would fucking take back everything if the man himself wrote this, but until I'm given proof otherwise, I don't care. This feels like word salad after a point.
Paul McCartney wrote this SCP is one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
No, that's pretty tame, honestly.
Sure, I can be Paul McCartney.
Did you
Alright,
literally
cool.
just look up like a 30-second clip of Paul McCartney speaking to try to replicate his voice?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Begin log. Alright, Mr. McCart. Alright, Mr. McCartney, we're going to need to ask you a few questions about the conspiracy surrounding around you. We're curious if you have any information on it.
Well, this took longer than I thought it would. Come on then, fire away.
Mr. McCartney, I'm going to need you to elaborate.
Right then, well, I know about your organization, the Foundation.
And how do you know about us?
I spent time with the hand in one of the loops. You know about the loops now, don't you?
Hold on.
Loops.
Sorry to break this up. I presume that's talking about the serpent's hand.
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah. A different group in the Foundation. Well, not even in the Foundation. That's like in the universe. It's a group in the universe.
Cool.
Continue.
Anyway. Oh, wait. Sorry. Loops.
Well, that's a disappointment. I was hoping that you would know and I wouldn't have to explain. The 1960s, they were a loop.
A time loop?
You got it repeated God knows how many times, and nobody seems to know about it. I was going crazy for the first few runs. Yeah, you alright?
Fuck, I remember. It hurts so much. I remember it all.
Medics, he needs help.
McCartney gets up, trying to soothe the interviewer until aid arrives. End log.
That was really good. Thank you both. That was
Yeah, no problem, man. I wasn't sure. Okay, so I can't tell because I'm going based off of whether Discord will actually light my icon green or not. So I'm just praying that the noises come through.
It did. It came through clearly. Thank you.
Fantastic. After the above interview, the Department of Temporal Anomalies was informed of the situation. All medical personnel who aided the interviewer were given a false story. It was decided among high-ranking members of the department that Sir James Paul McCartney was to be inducted into the Foundation. He was made a consultant and researcher on SCP-8966, as he was seen as a valuable source of information, including leading to the discovery of SCP-8966-A. Addendum 8966-2, Temporal Anomalies Department Testing. The Department of Temporal Anomalies began testing on SCP-8966, utilizing personnel sent into SCP-8966's time span and various information gathering anomalies to find out how SCP-8966 was created and maintained. Loop number 0, the time span before the creation of SCP-8966. Deviations occurred similarly to the true or final iteration of SCP-8966. Notable differences include John F. Kennedy fully serving his term as president and being reinstated for a second, Lee Harvey Oswald failed in his assassination attempt, allowing this to occur. The NASA program failed to bring Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin home from the moon, resulting in the program losing funding on the order of President Nixon. The most important deviation, and likely the triggering event for SCP-8966's creation, was the death of Paul McCartney in a car crash on November 6th of 1966. The Beatles and the British Occult Service then conspired to cover up his death, with a man known as Bill Shepard being thaumaturgically transformed to be near identical to Paul McCartney. Okay.
Well, hold on. I like how it's the British Occult Service and also the Beatles worked
yeah.
to cover up his death.
They worked together on this.
Well, we need a lead singer. And so they're like, okay, instead of getting a new one, let's just mold this dumb shit into Paul. Nothing of note happens until September of 1969, when the truth begins to leak to local newspapers. Hume levels in Bill Shepard begin skyrocketing at this point, reaching a high on December 31st, 1969, with John Lennon and Ringo Starr trying to disband the band and the creation of SCP-8966. Notes: Bill Shepard, pre-transformation, has been noted to be identical to SCP-8966-A. Fantastic. Loop number 1. Deviations. Paul McCartney immediately starts displaying distress at the beginning of the loop, running into the bathroom and having a breakdown. The next day, he packs some things and leaves his home, beginning to hitchhike through England. He looks if he would.
I know.
McCartney specified that he thought he had an intense mental breakdown. Fair enough, honestly. Bill Shepard, still resembling McCartney, took his place and began to live his life. Oh, that's fucked. All major events, bar the death of Paul and subsequent fallout, occurs in this loop exactly how it did in the last. Notes: McCartney, upon notes of these discoveries, commented that he figured out something was wrong when he saw himself on TV. This is when he became aware of Bill Shepard and realized his memory of the prior loop was not a convoluted mental breakdown. Loop 2. Deviations. Paul McCartney attempted to live the same life as the original. His death in 1960 was assumed to be due to the subconscious reality warping of Bill Shepard, as McCartney reported the things becoming more dangerous even in mundane situations, such as the sidewalk being slippery when he was going to play with the Beatles. His cause of death was found to be intense head trauma due to a sidewalk reportedly grabbing him. This led to the British Occult Service and the Beatles looking for a replacement, which they found in Bill Shepard, who was almost identical to Paul. Historical events were vaguely affected, with Lee Harvey Oswald's assassination attempt injuring Kennedy and leaving him unable to work for the remainder of his term. Lyndon B. Johnson ran for and won the presidency in his absence. Notes: McCartney has reported that he remembers dying to be a Groundhog's Day thing. He has declined to elaborate further. Thank you, Paul.
I like that.
Addendum 8966-3. Further interview. Interviewer Dr. Theobald Ryans. Alright, what's the footnote?
Oh my god, dude. Why are there so many of them?
Level 5 personnel. Okay, cool. We're just getting a level 5. Fine, fuck it. I guess it makes sense considering what they're dealing with. You know,
I think
British
this is a
people
good
time warping.
SCP without all the new gen shit. Like, the
If they had just
Draugr?
like given
What is
this normal
Draugr?
classifications, I
Yeah.
could have made peace with that. I just kind of hate the new formatting, I guess. One sec. Ridge, you're still playing McCartney.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just take
Why
Ryan's
is
for
this
this
one
one.
RSR McCartney?
Researcher.
Oh, okay.
Remember, he was inducted into the Foundation,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is really fine.
Which again is
resurrected
like
Paul McCartney.
really, really weird for them to do, considering when
I
they would
mean,
have helpful SCPs before, but they'd never just, forgo giving them an SCP designation because this guy is
no,
clearly anomalous.
Helix. He's beta. You fucking clown.
I know. So why are they treating him like a human then?
Because for
He's
the
Paul
most part,
McCartney.
he is.
He's Paul McCartney.
He's
He
their
is
one
Paul-
source
he
of
is Paul McCartney.
information about the actual like base anomaly.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, may as well have him research this
And
directly.
they also
'cause
talked
there's no
about
point in keeping
backing up.
secrets.
They also talked about backing up the entire Foundation's records on Kane's mental imaging. Because he lives
Yeah, they
forever
back
and
it up
has
on
a
anything they
photographic
can.
memory. And they didn't fucking label him as a researcher because he's still a fucking SCP.
Every SCP
Well, you
is
see,
different.
this is Paul McCartney.
God,
Yeah, you could trust him. Smile.
every SCP is to be treated as potentially dangerous because you never know when something can just happen because they're anomalous. Who knows? He could just get into another car crash and the next thing we know, we
Okay,
don't
let
know
me
about
put
the
it to you
next
like
6 years.
this.
This is dangerous.
Yeah,
What do you
so is
mean? It's
Dr.
Paul
Bright.
McCartney.
Arguably, he's more dangerous than McCartney. What's your point? Can we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, I guess I'll just take Ryan's for this. Right, are you comfortable, Mr. McCartney?
Yep, thanks for asking.
Right, I'm no stranger to time loops myself. So, do you want to tell me about it?
Of course. Every time it was going to be New Year's Eve of '69, I felt like my chest got a little tighter. Nothing ever came of it, but I'd blink and it'd be 1960 again. I'd be back in my little shitty home.
And no one else noticed a thing?
Everyone else was blissfully ignorant. I didn't get the luxury of forgetting like they did.
Did you ever speak to Bill Shepard?
Yeah, a few times. He usually talked to me before he killed me to take my place. You know what, Ryans? He was a fan. He liked my work. That's why he wanted to be me. I went to just walking away from the band and letting him take me.
Well, do you know what stopped SCP-8966's effects?
I killed him. You have his corpse because I killed him. I assume you're gonna ask why?
You're correct.
Well, before I killed him, I talked to an old man. I was hitchhiking across America. I didn't know what else to do at that point. He said that I looked famished and offered to buy me dinner. I obviously took him up. I've died of starvation in one of those, and I wasn't looking to go through that again.
What did he tell you?
Scroll down, clown. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. He told me about how I looked exhausted, tired of everything. He said it was a shame that a young man like me was going through something like that. He knew I could find whatever was troubling me, and he gave me some money for the journey.
And this was inspiring to you?
Well, if you'd stop cutting me off, I'd have an easier time telling my story. He gave me a slip of paper hidden between the bills. There was a map with a date, an X over London, November 9th, 1966. If you'd look back at your notes, that's when I died for the first time. Before you ask, here it is.
McCartney hands the slip of folded paper to Dr. Ryans. Well, what did this map lead to? Ryans unfolds the paper, examining the map.
I think that's a story for another day. I'll be in my office. I have a lot of things to do.
All right. It was a pleasure, Mr. McCartney. Addendum 8966-4, Extended Testing Logs. Loop number 34. Oh dear god. Deviations. The first recorded instance of events from a prior loop being remembered was noted. Despite SCP-8966-A and B remaining alive in this iteration, the Paul is dead conspiracy theory was noted to have appeared. All other non-anomalous historical events are congruent with the original iteration of SCP-8966 and the anomalous world. In the anomalous world, increased activity in the Serpent's Hand, okay, yeah, so it is Serpent's Hand, was noted due to the fact that SCP-8966-B joined the organization for this span of SCP-8966. Notes. Researcher McCartney and Dr. Ryans have proposed a theoretical explanation for prior iterations being able to be remembered, known as the restructuring slip. The longer that a reality bender attempts to maintain a hold on consensus reality, regardless of their strength, the more likely it is that reality will begin to fall out of their control slowly and be more prone to anomalous phenomena. They have provided the metaphor of sand slipping through a hand as a visual representation. Loop number 51. Deviations. Goddamn. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was perpetrated by the CIA after a botched handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Though roughly 50 nuclear missiles were fired between the United States and USSR and none detonated. This is believed to be due to the passive influence of SCP-8966-A, keeping SCP-8966 from needing to reset unnecessarily. SCP-8966-B died due to blunt force trauma. Fantastic. I like to personally imagine he just got hit directly by a missile.
It just fell out of the sky right above him.
Notes. There are notable rises in restructuring slip events, such as the influence of Paul is dead being much more prevalent than any previous iterations of SCP-8966. Loop number 132. Deviations. Consistent with the original timeline up until the assassination of John F. Kennedy. God, fucking say it ain't so. Which is consistent to current consensus history. In the 1964 election, Richard Nixon defeated Barry Goldwater in the Republican primaries, which led to a victory against Lyndon B. Johnson for the presidency. An equivalent of the Watergate scandal occurred in this iteration, where employees of the Nixon administration broke into the Democratic Party's office to try and find blackmail. This was not discovered until November of 1969. Fallout of this event is unknown. Notes. Consensus reality is beginning to show signs of harsh degradation, with anomalies and anomalous events becoming 34% more common since the first iteration of the loop. Addendum 8966-5, interview with researcher McCartney. Interviewer is Theobald Ryans, and it is once again interviewing Paul. So, Mr. McCartney, I'd like to know what your time with the Serpent's Hand taught you.
Oh, yes, they were an interesting bunch, and I didn't really mean to bump into them. I was wandering like I did in many of the iterations, and I came upon a group in an alleyway. They recognized me, actually. We went to a cheap little diner and had a meal, and then they asked if I wanted to see something that could help.
So, were they aware of SCP-8966?
I don't think they knew about it specifically, but they knew what it was doing.
Why is that?
I stepped into the library and... How do I phrase this?
Take all the time you need.
The library. Have you gone in it yet? In any iteration?
No, we're not usually welcome there.
Well, you must have done something wrong there. Alright then. They took me into the library, showed me a way that had us singing a hymn to a wall. When we entered, I saw the beautiful, beautiful shelves upon shelves of books. It was amazing. I still get a sense of awe when I think about it. They told me I could find any book I wanted there, on anything, so I hesitantly went to a librarian and asked about what was happening. Then it just kind of stared at me for a moment, its featureless face contemplating what it was going to do.
I've heard the librarians know exactly where everything is. Isn't that true?
It is. After a few long, awkward minutes, it led me to a shelf, secluded from others, and cracking at the world around it. It was being attacked. The very foundation of knowledge was breaking apart, and this was the epicenter. I couldn't even get close to the books. They looked like they would be destroyed with a single touch. I asked for books on the Beatles, and guess what I got? They were wrong. He was the one in the pictures. I asked for something on 1970.
And
It didn't exist. I knew I had to act. I had to find a way to kill him. And then I started looking for something that could help. That led to the old man, and
Mr. McCartney, are you alright?
yeah. Yeah, I just thought of something. I've got to go work on something.
Well, we're not done with the interview yet.
Later. We'll finish later.
Incident log 8966. Following a second interview with Dr. Ryans, researcher McCartney was noted to have entered a room containing stockpiles of temporal anomalies and standard Foundation equipment. He began taking things without any notice before or after, including a 442i perfect time watch and a it's a device that tracks temporal displacements, and a Mark II exact device used to aid in containment of temporal anomalies. Okay. A body camera that was equipped onto his person, and the smallest spy camera available. After stealing equipment, he entered the office of Dr. Theobald Ryans to take what was later confirmed to be the map that had been given prior. At this point, researcher McCartney entered a storage room and initiated the body cam and Mark II exact device, which sent back data to indicate that he had traveled to the 339th iteration of SCP-8966. Video footage was recovered upon his return, which can be viewed below. An investigation on whether this is an unauthorized alteration to the timeline has been authorized. Video log transcript. Personnel on duty, researchers Sir James Paul McCartney, subject Pol 8966. POI. My mistake. Halux, you get to be POI. Fuck you.
My god, it worked.
Yay!
Sorry, I was muted. I was trying to figure out if I even had any lines for a moment, or if it's all just actions. Alright, got it.
I can read actions if you want.
Yeah.
He turns, putting his arms up in triumph, and begins to walk towards the small town he appeared in. Pole 8966 is seen on an unkempt beard and longer brown hair flowing in the slight breeze. He is exiting a car, giving an inaudible thanks to the driver and walking with a stick.
Hey, sir. Sir.
POI turns, looking at McCartney with confusion.
Hello?
You look tired, kid. You want to get something to eat? I'll pay.
POI looks McCartney up and down before nodding.
Yeah, that sounds good. What's your name?
Mike.
Funny, that's my brother's name. I'm James.
Nice to meet you. Let's get something to eat.
The footage seems to have some sign of disruption before coming back while McCartney and POI 8966 begin eating their meal.
I've got some for you.
POI 8966 leans on the counter of the bar and looks at McCartney.
Alright then, what is it?
McCartney takes out a small folded piece of paper, sliding it across the table to POI 8966.
What is...
Don't open it yet. Wait till I leave. You look tired. I can see it in your eyes that you're exhausted, James. I bet you're even tired of everything. It just feels like it'll never end. But I know you're a strong man. You can make it through whatever's happening. I know it.
McCartney slides 40 pounds across the table, patting POI 8966 on the shoulder, which activates the spy camera, causing it to stick to his clothes.
Happy New Year.
End log. Updates. Why does this happen to me every time? Is that June or July?
Oh.
Whatever. Footage has been found on the spy camera planted by researcher McCartney following a period of inactivity. The event therein has been dubbed Incident 8966-2. Preface. The video, after review by personnel of the Temporal Anomalies Department, has been found to contain 2 individuals. The spy camera footage is from the perspective of POI 8966, and the other is presumed to be Bill Shepard, otherwise known as SCP 8966-A. Hmm. So Helix is still him. I guess we'll take Shepard then.
Yeah, that's fair.
Begin log. POI 8966 seems to be on the edge of Abbey Road early in the morning. Camera footage labels time as 5 a.m. Wednesday, November 9th of 1966. Bill Shepard can be seen walking along the sidewalk where his eyes meet with POI. I'm just going to call him POI from here on.
Yeah.
Begin.
Morning, sir.
POI approaches Shepard. He frowns before closer examining POI and gaining an expression of proper shock. Paul, it's you? I thought you died.
No, I didn't. Not this time, anyways.
He reaches into his pocket.
I'm sorry, I'm really fucking confused on what's happening right now. What person of interest is just the, like, old guy that he met, isn't he? Why are they saying he looks like Paul now?
No, so what happened was current Paul McCartney went to the past as the old guy and gave
Oh,
right.
himself the map.
Alright.
Global.
Okay. Alright, I got it.
So
That was
POI is
yeah, that was me misinterpreting
past
what was
tense Paul
happening.
McCartney.
Yeah. To be fair, they gave like a minor description of him, and I genuinely could not tell you what Paul McCartney actually looks like. I'll be real. I don't remember what he looks like.
Eh.
Alright, yeah, that all makes sense now. I thought for some reason that he was giving the map to the old guy to then give to himself. Like paying back the favor, like buying him food and then like giving him that. That's what I thought.
Alright,
Oh,
so
well, continue.
he reaches into his pocket.
Hold on, I'm lost. There we go. Why did you do this? I need to know.
Well, this is a great opportunity. You know you're my hero, right? Paul, I've been nothing but living in your shadow this whole time. You died the first time, and John, Ringo, they tried to ruin what we had going. I was going to keep doing music with them. We could have kept going, but right as the ball dropped, I got angry. I was in despair, Paul. So I sent everything back again. I don't know what happened to me, but I want to do it again. Shepard pants out of breath. These were the best years of my life, Paul. I love you. Well, being you. I appreciate you paving the way each time. I think it could be the 60s forever, Paul. Wouldn't that be great? You can live whatever hermit life you want, and I can...
Do you think I want that?
He looks if you would.
Sorry, I kind of forgot I was the one scrolling down.
Somehow. His eyes filled with terror as he looks at POI. Paul, I don't want to lose this. Please. This was the best thing to ever happen to me. Don't take this away from me. I was happy. You were happy. Everyone. Everyone was happy, Paul. Don't ruin... POI gets closer to Shepard, stabbing him repeatedly in the chest. The camera is covered by a dark red color, but the sound of birds gets louder as POI begins panting.
I did it. Lord forgive me, I did it.
POI begins sobbing.
He's gone. I did it.
Continues to weep. Fantastic. Alright, end log. Following the discovery of incident log 8966-2, researcher McCartney has been formally found to be in no violation of unauthorized equipment use. Huge.
He's been
Access
acquitted. Let's go.
Access level 6-8966 files, 1 document found. Memo. Promotion of researcher Sir James Paul McCartney. Following the resignation of 0510, we have been searching for a suitable replacement of. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god.
Okay, fine, whatever. Fuck it. Following the resignation of 0510, we have been searching for a suitable replacement to fill the rather large shoes he has left behind in his future service of the Council. He had left a formal request for a successor to be the man that he once was. What this meant to him was unknown until, of course, we found Paul. Sir James Paul McCartney has worked with the Temporal Anomalies Department for nigh 3 years now, helping to understand not just SCP-8966, but countless other temporal anomalies. He also possesses the extraordinary ability to remain largely unaffected mentally by reality restructuring events, which will prove rather useful on our council. This is not to mention his ability to act on what he is given with his incredible intelligence, successfully finding and completing a vital closed loop to ensure reality remains intact, and his work on SCP-8966. Giving my formal congratulations, 057.
Thank you, Paul McCartney. Yeah, I'd say this was a good SCP.
It was. It genuinely
Yeah.
was.
My main problem is just like, why did they call it a jogger? That literally could have just been Euclid. Or hell, even safe. I wouldn't be upset if they called it neutralized. Because, like,
Once
well,
again,
it's not
why don't they just have a
neutralized.
subclass?
I don't know.
Why do they not have an actual like subcategory instead of disruption class, which I assume is just for temporal shit? Fine, whatever. But you've got that space there. You can shrink containment class Draugr, move it down, and then above that you put like an actual designation. In this case, probably neutralized.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Not sure why it says does the Black Moon howl here. This had nothing to do with that.
Fuck it.
Oh well.
Who cares?
What do you mean?
Also-
Paul McCartney is right there.
Oh. It was Paul McCartney reading this off. It's Paul McCartney reading this.
uh,
Great. Wonder why the author picked Paul and not say like Michael Jackson. Probably because they
probably
like
because
Paul.
Michael Jackson.
They probably liked Paul.
Oh.
That's probably all there
And
was
also,
to
the
it.
whole Paul is dead thing is a lot easier to riff off of for a story
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
true. That was a huge part of this.
Because that already existed.
Maybe Blade was right, and there is the real Paul. Maybe, never know.
Maybe.
Oh, anyway, that was the SCP stream, everybody. It's been an hour.
Alright, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
It's been an hour, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
not
next
sure if
one,
we'll
next
be
one.
able to keep up with 2 of suggested SCPs per stream. I think that might be too fucking much.
Okay. So, I think we should keep it as 2. But only because people are probably gonna end up suggesting long ones.
Yeah.
If you'd like, I can suggest 682.
You can't suggest
No.
anymore.
I can suggest whatever I want.
There's 2 limit per stream. Imagine fucking mods are just able to bypass that for some fucking ungodly reason. Item number SCP-163. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-163's enclosure consists of 4 adjoining rooms, 3 meters from the floor to the ceiling, with the following attributes. 1 5x5 meter receiving room with an airlock and seating appropriate for both SCP-163s and human morphology. 1 5x3 storage room capable of storing SCP-163's isolation suit, tools, and games. 1 20 meter by 15 meter workshop and dining area which contains all salvage technology, including SCP-163-1. 1 5 meter by 5 meter sleep area and rest facility furnished with seating and bedding fitting SCP-163's morphology. Air is filtered into the enclosure and is automatically monitored at all times by computer and once daily by staff to check for impurities. Filters are to be changed weekly for any time impurities are found in the air. 2 separate lighting systems are used in the enclosure, one which produces radiation between 400... I don't know what that's for. What is this? My brain is saying Newmans for some reason.
Is it? I mean, nanometers is also theoretically, but that can't be it.
I just looked up measure for radiation, and this isn't one of them. I'm just gonna say NM. I don't know what that stands for. And 700 nm. And one that produces radiation between 150 nm and 300 nm. The primary lighting system is to remain active at all times to facilitate observation. The secondary lighting system may be turned on or off at SCP-163's discretion. At no point are forbidden elements and chemicals to be introduced into the enclosure above prescribed proportions listed in Manual M163-1. Personnel and any items brought with them will be checked for traces of these chemicals prior to being allowed access to the enclosure.
Helix,
Yeah?
we forgot the music this whole time.
Fuck, dude. Hold on a moment. How could I have forgotten such a key factor in these streams? Ignore this. You don't need to worry about that. That was
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. That's not very relaxed cafe of you.
It isn't Relax Cafe, you're right. Do I
Yeah,
switch
it's right there.
to...
Relaxed cafe is right there.
There we go. Yeah, there's our OG. It's a little loud, isn't it?
Nah, it's fine.
There we go. Where was I? Here. Personnel are to wear isolation suits at all times while in the enclosure to protect themselves and SCP-163 from cross-contamination. Before being granted clearance to enter the enclosure, personnel are to study Manual M163 and -2 and submit to an interview with Dr. Redacted. Cleared personnel are permitted to interact with SCP-163 by assisting it with repair of equipment and by playing board games with it.
Huge.
SCP-163 may leave its enclosure at any time. It must first announce its intent to leave the enclosure through an agreed-upon gesture and don its own isolation suit. The suit contains the same air filters used to cycle the air in the enclosure. In order to facilitate vision, SCP-163 may carry a UV flashlight capable of producing radiation wavelengths of no less than 280 newmans. In order to keep risk of skin cancer among personnel to a minimum, when roaming the facility, SCP-163 is to be accompanied by a junior researcher who is to record all actions, gestures, and expressions with a video camera. The escort is to also bar SCP-163 from any areas deemed dangerous to it. Once every 3 days, personnel are to deliver the receiving room a 200-liter container with chemical elements in proportions listed in Manual M163-1. SCP-163 will take the container and pour its contents into SCP-163-1. The empty container is then placed in the airlock for retrieval. Equipment may be removed from the enclosure only when in the presence of SCP-163. If SCP-163 interferes with the removal of a piece of equipment, the item is to be placed back in the area from which it was taken. At no point is SCP-163-1 to be disassembled, operated, or removed by personnel, under any circumstances. Any attempts to do so will result in severe discipline. Description: SCP-163 is a sapient organism of extraterrestrial origin. When standing, it is 2 meters tall and 1.5 meters wide, the bulk of the body being suspended 50 meters from the ground, or 50 centimeters from the ground. The body is roughly cylindrical with a circular mouth at the bottom, the equivalent of a head at the top, and 8 3-jointed legs arranged radially around the equator. SCP-163 also has a series of specialized limbs listed here. 2 prehensile feeding apparatus on either side of the mouth, 2 arms near the top of the body used for delicate manipulation, 2 larger arms located close to the legs used for heavy manipulation and lifting, and capable of producing a steady force of approximately 500 newtons and a striking force of up to 2,000 newtons. I assume that's newtons, I don't remember. 2 appendages of indeterminate function located between the legs and mouthparts which had been amputated prior to SCP-163's discovery. 30 centimeters from the top of the body is a single semi-compound eye which extends in a ring around it, allowing a full 360 degrees of vision. There is a blind spot at the back of the head to make way for an organ used for elimination of bodily waste. The compound eye is separated into 88 units. The most likely hypothesis is that each unit only receives only vertical information while the brain intuits horizontal information by comparing input from the different units. The eye is sensitive to light wavelengths between 150 nm and 300 nm, equivalent to UVC, which is harmful to most terrestrial life. SCP-163 contains an endoskeleton, which consists of tissue similar in chemical composition and structure to cellulose. The skeletal structure protrudes from the uppermost joint of each leg and appears to have been blunted by mechanical means. No pain response is exhibited when samples are taken from these protrusions. The skin is transparent to visible wavelengths of light, but opaque to ultraviolet. Blood samples taken have an oxygen and carbon dioxide transport system based on nickel rather than the iron or copper used by terrestrial organisms. What terrestrial organisms use copper? Is that, like, real? Not that I know of, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised. And is green in color. Analysis of blood and tissue shows that SCP-163 cells use DNA for instruction, with the standard GCAT bases. However, a different method is used to interpret said instructions. Sets of 3 bases are still code for amino acids, but they are not the same ones that are coded for in terrestrial cells. In addition, some terrestrial amino acids are not present in its biology, while others that it uses are not present in Earth's biosphere, allowing for dramatically different protein arrangements. SCP-163's home environment would have contained different proportions of elements compared to that of Earth. This is evidenced by its sensitivity to certain common elements and its resistance to other less common ones. Redacted, a heavy metal poisonous to terrestrial life, is used in SCP-163's metabolism. Iron and calcium, though not used by SCP-163, cause no harmful effects to it. Exposure to redacted in any chemical form causes damage to tissue. Sorry. Redacted and redacted are as harmful to SCP-163 as they are to us. A full table of safe and unsafe chemicals, along with dietary requirements, is contained in Manual M163-1. Do you think they just started, like, testing him with, like, every element on the periodic table? Like, what does francium do to this guy? And they just, like, touch a little piece of it to his leg or something, and then he starts
really
squealing.
like gallium for some reason. You get enough of this stuff.
He fucking loves gallium.
They have one of those little fucking those squeeze tubes, like the ones that have like applesauce for kids. It's full of gallium.
Oh. Furthermore, the atmosphere would have had different proportions of gases. SCP-163 is able to survive in our atmosphere for some time without mechanical aid, but will begin to show signs of illness after 1 hour. Air that is filtered to remove certain common terrestrial elements will prevent such an event. Analysis of SCP-163's technology includes searches for hermetically sealed chambers which may contain evidence of its home atmosphere. It is unknown how SCP-163 communicates complex ideas. The only vocalization produced by it is a steady sinusoidal wave of approximately 15 Hz when in certain emotional states. There is no variation to this vocalization, which can last from 15 seconds to 10 minutes. It is recommended that personnel exposed to the sound remain in well-lit conditions to prevent feelings of paranoia. Emotions are primarily displayed by the dome of tissue above the compound eye. Different states correspond to distortion and furrows in the skin by subdermal muscles. In addition, a negative and affirmative gesture have been noted. An affirmative consists of the rapidly beating together of SCP-163's delicate manipulators, while the negative is the same gesture performed by heavy manipulators. So he just claps his little hands if he likes something, and claps his big hands if he doesn't like something.
Okay, so real quick about the sound, the sinusoidal. That's just like referring to like the fluctuations of a sine frequency. So it's just like it's just a steady noise that kind of fluctuates.
Yeah.
And God, that thing, it would just do that for upwards of 10 minutes. Ugh.
Specific information on gestures and emotional states is contained in Manual M163-2. SCP-163-1 appears to be a universal life support device. It is able to convert basic chemical elements into sustenance for SCP-163, in addition to originally projecting the phenomenon in which SCP-163 was found. To ensure the continued health of SCP-163, study of SCP-163-1 is forbidden until after the death of SCP-163. The function of other equipment is still not fully understood. The technology is limited to crude transistors assembled in various specialized analog computers. Many physical processes that these computers model do not correspond to any known science. It is theorized that SCP-163-1 relies on some of these processes in order to function. SCP-163 was first discovered by miners in the Andes Mountains on Redacted. The rock strata in which it was found are approximately redacted years old. Shocked minerals in the vicinity indicate that its spacecraft have crash-landed. The miners reported coming across an impenetrable mirrored surface which abruptly disappeared after enough walkers were moved from it. The description suggests that this is a larger version of the phenomenon produced by SCP-163-1. Despite being encased in stone for redacted years, the contents of the chamber showed no sign of age or degradation, believed to be an effect of the phenomenon. Approximately 30% of the equipment had been looted before agents could reach the scene, though some have since been recovered. There are many items still at large. Agents are continuing to scour the black market for any further clues as to the whereabouts of the missing technology. When agents took control of the scene, SCP-163 was still encased in the reflective sphere produced by SCP-163-1. The relative simplicity of SCP-163-1's interface allowed agents to quickly deactivate it. Agents were forced to subdue SCP-163, which was violent at the time. Aside from this initial confrontation, SCP-163 has cooperated with the Foundation to the extent of its ability to understand us. The following are select experiments performed on SCP-163. A full list of experiments and result is contained in Manual M163-2. Experiment Log 163-46. Facial recognition. Date redacted. Subject SCP-163. Procedure: Dr. Redacted entered the enclosure of SCP-163 carrying 30 11x17 cards with images printed on them with UV-absorbing inks. Images were representations of human faces of varying complexity. SCP-163 was shown these images from least complex, a smiley face, to most complex, a photograph of Dr. Redacted. Details: SCP-163 was not able to recognize the smiley face, which human infants are able to immediately emulate. It was not until the 18th image that SCP-163 reacted by taking the card and placing it over the front of Dr. Redacted's faceplate. Image 18 had exaggerated facial features which included a nose, eyes, ears, and mouth showing a row of straight teeth. Image 17 was identical but with a closed mouth. I really like to imagine this is just the smiley face. They just kept adding stuff onto it until it, like... looked like that. So it's just a smiley face, but they gave it like ears, a nose, like a mouth, and teeth, and it's just horrifying looking. Experiment Log 163-47. Facial recognition. Date redacted. Subject SCP-163. Procedure: Dr. Redacted entered SCP-163's enclosure carrying 20 cards with images printed on them with UV-absorbing inks. Sorry. One moment, I need to pop a Tums. I have heartburn. Images were representations of the top of SCP-163's body, ranging in complexity from isosceles triangle to a photograph of SCP-163. Details: SCP-163 did not recognize the first card as a member of its species. The second card, depicting an isosceles triangle with a horizontal line going through the middle, elicited a response. SCP-163 took all of the cards from Dr. Redacted and looked at each in turn. It then sorted the cards into two stacks, one which contained 6 images, including image 1, and one which contained the remainder, including image 2. It is hypothesized that the first stack includes images which cannot be recognized as SCP-163's species, while the second stack has images that can. The presence of the photograph in the second stack supports this hypothesis. Experiment log 163-80, altruism test. Date, redacted. Subject, SCP-163. Procedure. Dr. Redacted entered the enclosure carrying 2 wooden blocks and a box capable of holding both. Dr. Redacted opened the box and moved 1 block into it while feigning great effort. After closing the box, Dr. Redacted moved the second block toward it, again feigning effort, and waited for a response from SCP-163. Details. SCP-163 opened the box for Dr. Redacted after 10 seconds of him attempting to place the block inside while the lid was closed. The result is consistent with the same experiment performed on human children. Again, I really like that they are just treating this thing as if it is like a toddler, because they do not know how smart it actually is. So they're just starting from the bottom up.
I mean, I imagine that's probably how you do things with a lot of creatures that you can't clearly determine. Okay, this thing has.
I think this is a little far though. Because like imagine this creature is like decently intelligent and it's just all watching as this stuff happens and they think we're just like a failure as a species because we can't put the square in the circle hole. Like I feel like it's fair to start a little higher and be like, all right, he can't understand complex arithmetic. What do we do next? Just to be like, I understand they can't exactly do that specifically, but like, I feel like starting from the ground up is a little insulting.
I mean, it's clearly not having a great time trying to, figure out human expressions.
That's fair. That's
Kinda,
fair.
it's not quite as important as, hey, are you going to like implode or something if I don't feed you? But it's good if it knows how to read expressions if it's sapient.
Yeah. Experiment log 163-88, higher functions. Date, redacted. Subject, SCP-163. Procedure, Dr. Redacted entered the enclosure with a cart containing an easel, 5 canvases, assorted brushes, and a selection of pigments which reflect different ultraviolet frequencies between 150 nm and 300 nm. Dr. Redacted briefly demonstrated the act of painting using 3 of the pigments before handing the brush to SCP-163. Hold on a moment. Doesn't look like lurk bait is working for some fucking reason, even though it's open and the thing is running. So I'm just going to manually give like WeFit like 3 catches because they've redeemed it like 3 times now, and I haven't seen 1 fish come out of it. It hasn't been working for a long time. Has it been like multiple days? Like, I don't know what to do to fish it. Or fix it. Does this even work? What happened to my fucking lurk bait, dude? Hold on. I'm gonna turn it off real quick and give it the old soft reset. Because usually I just have to boot it up and then it works. I want to make sure this is working before I continue because it's not fair. That chatbot outage has been happening like literally every single day for like literal months. I don't think I can do anything about it. Alright, cool. Oh, it's working, it's working. There. Yeah, okay. Did at least 3 of them. Did anyone else do a... You did another... Okay, you did like 6 of them, so I'm just gonna do the command a few more times then. I really wish when I pressed enter, it wouldn't use a space for, like, seemingly no reason. It keeps doing that. I'm pressing enter to, you know, press the enter key. There we go. That should catch you up on catches, I believe. I looked through, like, all of the ones that you did this stream, because I don't know how many actually got missed. So just shut up and say thank you. Alright, where was I? Details. SCP-163 immediately began painting with the provided pigments. The image produced was of a landscape containing unrecognizable plants and animals. According to UV imaging... Oh, no, that's just part of it. It's just according to UV imaging. SCP-163 remained still for 7 minutes after completing the painting before knocking it from its easel and retreating to a corner of the receiving room. Cranial ridges indicated distress. All further attempts at interacting with SCP-163 failed until Dr. Redacted attempted to remove the painting supplies from the enclosure. At that point, SCP-163's heavy manipulators were protruded from between its legs and indicated the negative gesture. The following day, SCP-163 was seen painting on a new canvas. I like him. I like this. You're fine with it. Addendum 163-88. As of this date, fresh canvases, paints, and brushes should be provided to SCP-163 whenever its supplies begin to go low. This is the first truly meaningful communication we have been able to understand. At the very least, we may be able to learn more about the ecology of its home world. Dr. Redacted. Addendum 163-93. The odds of SCP-163 having been discovered at all are purely mind-boggling, given the size of the Earth. A number of factors would have had to come into play, including plate tectonics, development of terrain by humans, and just plain old dumb luck. I am filing a recommendation that all excavations of redacted year-old strata be monitored by agents for more members of SCP-163's species. I find it hard to believe that we just happened to come across the one single spacecraft that crash-landed on Earth millions of years ago, at a time when we were just beginning to develop the capacity to recognize the importance of such a find. There must be others hidden in stasis somewhere down there. Dr. Redacted. I like this one. I like this one. I love its little clappers. His big hands that he claps when he doesn't like something. Ugh. Oh, man. I just saw the word human fetus, infectiousness, sexual intercourse. Do we want to skip this one? I don't like the sound of this one.
I'm good.
If I'm correct, this is squid tumors. I'm just going to assume this is that there's a squid that manifests as a tumor in a person's body, and we're going to skip over this one for now, as I do not want to actively read it on stream. If you want to hear about it, go read it yourself.
Oh, and we're skipping to a Keter class for that.
Yeah. I'm not against reading body horrors, but like some of them where it's just like a lot of like gross things all at once and it's a short article, I'm just like, oh no, we won't miss much. It's a squid tumor. Do you want to take this one?
Sure.
Alright, cool. Because I wouldn't blame you if you were still tuckered out from reading about Paul McCartney. Squid Game!
Nonsense. I want to read about Paul McCartney again.
Yeah!
Item number SCP-165. Object Class Keter. Shit, hang on. Special Containment Procedures. Housed in a facility at Armed Biocontainment Area 14, SCP-165 is to be treated as a contagious, pathological organism. The highest sterilization and quarantine procedures are to be followed. Microwave field generators around SCP-165's area are in place to restrict movement of its dune within its containment area. Once every 9 days, SCP-165 is fed live cattle weighing weighing at least 750 kilograms. Great. Description. The organic component of SCP-165 resembles that of typical parasitic mites, 750 micrometers in length, with 8 legs and a genetic structure similar to the house dust mite. The main difference is the hermit crab-like behavior of attaching grains of sand to its back. It is unknown what purpose the sand serves, but the massive colony of SCP-165 numbers in the hundreds of billions to possibly trillions, creating a rather large dune. The similarities between data expunged and SCP-165 are only superficial. Data expunge's colony is protozoan in nature and apparently shows a collective intelligence and awareness that is not understood. SCP-165's colony is made up of individual Akari who don't show cooperation but rather competition in the hunt for food. Like mosquitoes, they rely on chemical detection of carbon dioxides and sugar in the air to detect prey. The Akari mites roll and bound over one another towards prey, only using their legs to climb over one another. When in contact with the flesh of animals, they release a numbing chemical toxin in their bite, similar to the makeup of that of mosquito and flea. He looks as you would. Flea bite toxins. Subjects are typically unaware that millions of mites are taking turns at grabbing mouthfuls of its flesh as they swarm around their victim. Great. A typical swarm resembles a swirling vortex around a victim or victim's appendage. The SCP-165 colony is efficient enough in their competitive swarming that most animals' appendages can be defleshed and reduced to bone within minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah! The numbing toxin is so effective that sleeping victims may not wake up as their limbs are eaten away. The Akari mites are resistant to all but the most dangerous of pesticides. They retreat from heat and will often seek shade when available, being the most active during the night, hunting for large sleeping prey. Their vulnerability to heat is the most preferable technique for containment. Addendum. Acquisition. It is apparent that the US government has been aware of dunes of SCP-165 for some 80 years. The area where SCP-165 was found is now a forgotten German immigrant ghost town of Fredericksburg, Arizona, in the Tule Desert near the Goldwater Air Force Base bombing range. The remote town of Fredericksburg was founded sometime in the late 1800s and by 1908 had become a ghost town. A passing cavalry troop reported that the inhabitants had disappeared and that the buildings were empty. They attempted to stay one night in the abandoned hotel, only to have 7 of their horses reduced to piles of bone. All but 4 of the soldiers fled in the middle of the night, saying that the sand was filling the building like a flood of water. Those 4 were never seen again. During the late 1950s, the US military attempted to exterminate SCP-165 by turning the area into a bombing range. God, a fucking
America! Alright!
It was successful in reducing the numbers of SCP-165, but in the late 1980s, it became apparent that a ground cleanup and extraction was needed to remove the presence of SCP-165. Mobile Task Force Epsilon 9, aka Fire Eaters, were dispatched for containment and extraction of SCP-165. He looks if you would. Upon entering the town of Fredericksburg, an upturned sign was found reading, "Ridge if you could."
Hungry sand.
Please read the German on screen.
Oshikord them Kuchinden Hungin Sun.
What does that mean?
Which translates to "Beware the creeping hungry sands." The flame accelerators of MTF Epsilon 9 proved highly successful in glassing the sand of SCP-165 and reducing its numbers to a manageable size. A living dune of nearly 4 metric tons of SCP-165 was contained and transported to ABC Area 14, where it is monitored and contained.
Alright, one moment before
Images
we...
recovered from... Oh, cool.
Yeah, one moment before we open that. I'm gonna read Refit's messages. A tiny head crab? Yeah, kind of. Napalm plus Agent Orange would have done the work. Either probably would have worked, yes. I can't imagine covering the desert in napalm would be good for the ecosystem, though.
Nonsense, it's a desert. There's no ecosystem.
You're right!
That's what the government says, anyway.
I also love all of these pictures of just, like, fucking sand-filled houses.
I do really like how much mileage they're getting out of that, because those could have been taken from fucking anywhere.
Where do you think they got all of
But the
these?
implication is like, what if it was really tiny mice that eat your bones? No,
Jesus.
this is a fun one. Like, this is a simple Keter class. It's just like, hey, how the fuck are we supposed to tell that this is actually going to eat me alive? You don't.
Yep. Oh my god.
Oh,
I mean, it's not as long as Pirates Make It Part. Sorry.
all right, have
One
it.
moment. One moment. I do plan on taking this one. I just need a moment. Item number SB-166. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SB-166 is contained in Biocontainment Zone C at Site 19, which has been modified to include a hermetically sealed antechamber and industrial strength air purifier. Containment staff must wear the specially designed or designated 166 biohazard suits at all times when inside SB-166 containment area. Due to SCP-166's unique physiological needs, a variety of loose-fitting organic cotton clothing has been provided to be rotated monthly. All meals are to be cooked according to the guidelines provided with as little organic additives as possible. Reasonable requests for personal items and modifications to the containment suite may be granted upon approval by Level 4 or higher authority. Update. All requests by SB-166 must be approved personally by Site Director Light. To date, SB-166 has requested a copy of the Holy Bible, a Catholic rosary, access to a Catholic priest for confession, mass, and other sacraments. This one was denied. Chaplain Davis has been scheduled to meet with SB-166 on alternating Sundays after a thorough decontamination process. Various books and magazines, mostly religious in nature. A telephone with which to contact the abbess of the Our Lady of Mercy convent in County Galway, Ireland. Denied, granted, overruled, denied.
Absolutely not. Fuck off.
Description. SCP-166 is a European female human in its late teens with undulate features, possessing antlers, hood feet, and a short tail reminiscent of Rangifer tarandus common deer. Despite these obvious abnormalities, DNA analysis reveals no abnormal genetic trait. Is this the one I think it is? It might be. I'll keep going and we'll figure out. Reminds me of that one horror movie where a group of students get to a beach where the sand devours anything organic touching it. The beach that makes you old. Yeah, we've all been there. The beach that makes you bones.
Bones.
Within a 15-meter radius of SB-166, all artificial I'm gonna take that from the top. Within a 15-meter radius of SB-166, artificial objects gradually return to an unworked state. Higher complexity objects like electronics or vehicles are affected quicker, with degradation of their metallic components causing catastrophic structural failure in a matter of hours. Rudimentary materials such as stone buildings or products made of organic materials decay at a virtually imperceptible rate. Within the same radius, plant life will begin to sprout, often growing in improbable places such as out of security cameras or ID scanners. SB-166 possesses a possibly anomalous sensitivity to artificial material and pollutants, with inhalation or contact causing pressure, ulcers, and symptoms of acute asthma attacks. In one case, physical proximity to a smoker caused SB-166 to undergo a severe asthma attack, even though the doctor at the time had not smoked a cigarette for 3 weeks. Holy shit.
Hang on, just run that by me again real quick.
Like the summary or like that last thing?
Just the last detail. It kind of.
Somebody had smoked 3 weeks ago and got close to her and she had an asthma attack.
Oh damn. Okay.
That's how like potent anything that is like not organic.
How sensitive her senses. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Discovery. SCP-166 was discovered at the Our Lady of Mercy Covenant in County Galway, Ireland, where it had lived since infancy. SCP-166 was confirmed by a defecting Global Occult Coalition agent to be the child of threat entity 9927 Black the Goddess, also known as SCP Redacted, who was terminated by a GOC strike team in what would be known as the Cornwall Incident. Oh, it's child of the threat entity. That's my bad. I don't know if I actually read that or not. Okay, this is not that big. Alright. Threat Entity Database Entry. Threat ID. KTE 9927 Black Child, the Daughter. Authorized Response Level 4. Severe Threat. Description. Threat Entity is the child of incarnated LTE 9927 Black, the Goddess, and an unknown father. While it strongly resembles its mother and shares its animalistic features, it lacks the extreme bestial appearance of 9927 Black. Possesses minor kinetic abilities, but primary reason for threat entity classification is the instinctive knowledge and legibility to enact occult procedure Clockwork Blackchild Havala. A worldwide ritual working that would irreversibly regress human civilization to Neolithic standards. Strike Team Lancelot neutralized 9927 Black in Redacted, England, during an operation which would later be known as the infamous Cornwall Incident, but were unable to confirm the liquidation of 9927 Blackchild due to the death of the strike leader, Agent Ukulele. Ukulele was posthumously awarded the Silver Aegis for his lifelong service to humanity. Threat Entity is not known to possess any defensive abilities. Terminate with extreme prejudice. If I remember correctly, Agent Ukulele is another name for Clef. Dr. Clef. That could just be an unrelated other guy, but I'm not sure.
Thank you, Gok. Very cool.
The agent had refused to terminate SCP-166, instead smuggling it to a Catholic convent in Count Galway, Ireland. It lived there until the age of 12, at which point a visitor to the convent accidentally witnessed SCP-166 and reported it to authorities. The agent then contacted the Foundation, agreeing to share GOC intelligence in return for the guaranteed safety and containment of SCP-166. Further details are classified. Addendum 166-1. Chaplain Davis biweekly interview. Davis, good morning, child. Okay, I forgot that we split these up, my bad. Do you want to be SCP-166 Mord?
Sure.
Good morning, child.
Good morning, Father.
As usual, I have to remind you that due to our environment, the seal of confession will not take place unless specifically invoked. Even then, details of our conversation can be unsealed if they're determined to be essential. Understand? SCP-166 nods. Excellent. Now how are you doing?
Good. One of the staff told me about Benedict yesterday. Is that true?
Ah, yes, that was rather unfortunate, but it does make sense. He was rather old even when he first took up the position. Now he can rest knowing he served the church well.
Do you know who's going to replace him?
Speculation has abounded, but it could be anyone. These are difficult times, after all, with all the recent controversies. They may want a fresh face to represent the church, or they may go with a man who's dedicated years of his life. Who knows? They may even pick a working class man. It certainly would give people something to talk about.
I guess so.
SCP-166 and Davis sit in silence. I'm sensing a question arising, child.
Sorry.
No need to apologize. That is what I'm here for, after all. What is it?
It's just, I wanted to ask you something, though it might be a little personal. I was just wondering, do you have a good relationship with your parents?
My mother, yes. Before she passed away, I visited her once a month at the retirement home, plus her birthday and holidays. Told her I was a chaplain serving in the military, which I suppose is somewhat close to the truth.
And your father?
That is a rather more complicated question. He was a good man, a soldier who held three things dearly: God, country, and family. Unfortunately, he held those convictions rather severely, which resulted in some heated discussions. I love him still, but this way is best for everyone. Davis sighs. And what about your parents? I know you lived in a convent, but what before that?
I never really knew them. I got dropped off when I was a baby. I mean, I guess they must have known the sisters if they put me there, but I don't remember them. Just what I picked up. They mentioned my mother a bit before they realized that they should watch what they say about me. I think they said something about her being a goddess, which obviously wouldn't be true. She must have been some sort of spirit, but she must have been something if I ended up like this, or looking like this. I remember eavesdropping on the abbess. She was talking to one of the other sisters about about how she had done something wrong. Something about a ritual someone else stopped. They said she died.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Not like I knew her.
And your father?
I don't know. He must have been the one who dropped me off at the convent. But why there? Why didn't he take me with him?
I'm sure he had his reasons.
Maybe. You know, they never talked about him. Not once. I must have asked the abbess 1,000 times, but she never even mentioned a hint of him. If my mother was so horrible, what did my father do?
Disciplinary interview of redacted. Begin log. Do you want to just take redacted here?
Sure.
Alright. What the hell were you thinking?
I wanted to make sure she's alright. You wouldn't let me talk to her. I took another route.
What you did was so much worse than that. If you just stuck to throwing your weight around to get her amenities, sure, I could overlook that. But then you go about trying to give a Class 4 anomaly a phone line to the outside world. Damn it. The council already dislikes you working at the same site as her. This gets out, you can kiss whatever deal you made goodbye.
Come on, Sophia, she's harmless. The only reason she's in there is because of me. I need to do something. Was the Foundation just going to let her grow up thinking that her...
Before you say another word, remember that this will be public to everyone with a Class 4 clearance. I can redact your name, but I can't stop people from putting the pieces together from an ill-timed outburst.
16 years. 16 years where she couldn't walk through a city, or catch a movie, or just go shopping. Doesn't matter if she's in a convent or a Foundation cell, she's being locked up for something she had no choice in. All because of me. Isn't fair.
I know.
I can't do anything about it. I could send a strike team anywhere in the world. I know secrets that the most powerful people in the world would pay billions for. Yet I can't even so much as talk to her. Let her know she's not alone.
You've done the best you could, much more than anyone could have expected of you in an impossible situation.
Funny how little that makes a difference. You know, I don't care. Just write me up. Let's get this over with.
I'm scheduling you for 6 2-hour sessions with a Foundation psychologist. I'll make sure it's glass. He signs off at the end of it. We can expunge this from your record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Thank you, Sophia.
Wonder what that was about. Alright. On... I assume this is her birthday. Yeah.
I assume so.
On SCP-166's birthday, the following note was discovered within SCP-166 containment area. Redacted. I first met your mother when we were little more than children. She had hooves for feet and starlight in her eyes. She was beauty and nature incarnate. And I killed her with my own 2 hands. Eden isn't a place...
Myself,
What?
I was considering reading it because I'm pretty sure I was playing the father, but...
If you want to, you can take it from
Nah,
there.
go ahead, you already started.
Alright. Eden isn't a place, it's a state of being. They wanted to take us back to it and I stopped them. I took paradise away from us for a second time. I have never regretted my actions on that day, except one. That when you first met me on that day, you saw your father put a bullet into the head of your mother. I make no excuses, only explanation. You may not have even remembered it, but I'm telling you now in the hope you understand why I did what I did. I hope you forgive me. I love you. I wish I could have done more for you. The best I could do was leave you in the hands of kind and loving people and hope they would raise you in my place. From what I've seen, they did well. I'm sorry you couldn't stay with them. I'm sorry they've brought you to this place. I promise to do my best to make sure your stay here is pleasant. I promise to keep you safe. Happy 16th birthday from your loving father. I assume this is just a link to Alto Clef?
Dodge the button.
Yep, it is.
Ah!
Um,
Alright, cool, get me out of here. We're not reading
hold
this.
on, I'm seeing if this is relevant. I think it's unrelevant to that specific story, but it is relevant to Dr. Clef himself.
I mean, I think it's a little real.
I'll just leave it off saying that Alto Clef is like an important member of the Foundation, and he is quite possibly like a agent we will see more of. So,
Probably.
Teenage Gaia.
Oh god.
All right, cool. Oh my god.
God damn it. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you can also take the next one as long as it's not like too long. How
Eh,
maybe if it
alright.
is.
Item number SCP-167, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-167 is to be kept in room protected of Research Command 06. Its door is to be padlocked at all times when not under study. Anyone wishing to obtain the key to conduct unscheduled exploration of or to study SCP-167 may do so only with the permission of the relevant Level 3 personnel assigned to this SCP. Description: SCP-167 is a cube measuring approximately 10 meters on its edge, created from an unidentified, shiny white plastic polymer. Affixed to one of the faces of the cube is a large metal door. It is unknown if this door is part of the original SCP, or if it was affixed by someone else before the object was acquired by the SCP Foundation. The interior dimensions of this cube are identical to the exterior, minus several centimeters for the width of the cube. So that the two of the remaining walls each have doorways in them. These doorways lead directly to identical rooms, each with two more doorways leading to more identical rooms. This pattern continues for as far as the research teams have been able to determine. The placement of these doorways appears to be random. No pattern has been found that explains which two of these three remaining walls have doors. SCP-167 shows signs of being explored before. A number of rooms, especially those at a low depth, have red dots or other markers painted next to the doorways to the entrances. Researchers have recently taken to replicate this behavior on any rooms that they visit, after the events mentioned in document number 167-8. Additionally, several man-made and natural objects have been found scattered in some of these rooms in SCP-167. Religious idols, circa 500 BCE, several treasure chests, circa 1500 CE, data expunged, and several SCPs, most notably data expunged. Addendum 167-1. SCP-167 does not appear to follow the rules of Euclidean geometry. You don't fucking say. A different path to rooms, which should be the same room, was taken by two researchers. Both arrived at their destination, but neither saw nor heard the other. How SCP-167 is warping space to create this effect is unknown, but warrants further study. Addendum 167-2. A request to test the effects of SCP-184 on SCP-167 has been suggested. This experiment is under consideration. Addendum 167-3. A request to use SCP-167 as a compact storage space for benign SCPs has been proposed by Dr. Redacted. This proposal requires a reclassification of SCP-167 to Safe Class, so a reevaluation is pending. Document number 167-8. As most of you are aware, Dr. Redacted was videotaped entering SCP-167 several days ago without the requisite ball of twine, and he has not yet returned. His ultimate fate is unknown, but the search teams have turned up nothing. Let this be a reminder to all of you just how easy it could be to get lost in there if you don't utilize some method of marking your path. If I find that any other researcher has disobeyed the safety regulations, oh wait, shit. God damn it, I don't know why I'm losing my spot like that. If I find any other researcher has disobeyed the safety regulations and entered without a ball of twine, no matter how far deep they intend to go, they will find themselves being transferred to another facility for researching Keter-class SCPs. They should have ample motivation to learn to follow safety regulations quite quickly. Dr.
That
Klein.
is fucking so crazy, dude. Grab the ball of twine. It's not that hard. What? You're going to starve to death in a non-Euclidean hellscape. Just
It will be
bring the
fine.
ball of twine, big guy. Come on.
It'll be fine.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, this is another not too long one.
Right, yeah, I can take this one. Item number SCP-168, Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-168 is to remain in Observation Room 221D of Sector 2A, of 28. It should be propped at the full angle that its casing allows, facing the unshuttered window provided. The entrance is to remain locked with entrance available by request. Based on prior research, it is not to be used as a normal calculator would. Discussion with SCP-168 is encouraged, but is to be limited to a maximum of 1 hour per day, no exceptions. Description. Found resting on a desk during clearance of the condemned redacted elementary school building in 1990 redacted, SCP-168 is a Hewlett-Packard brand graphing calculator, model HP-2BC. Upon initial inspection, it was discovered that the name Eric was carved into the inside of the removable casing. However, upon inputting a simple equation, 6 divided by 3, and pressing the equal sign button, the screen of the device went blank for 3 minutes and 34 seconds, after which the alternate key function engaged, displaying the message, "What time is it?" For a log of the conversation, those with level 2 security clearance should see Addendum Report E12. Though not altogether mobile, SCP-168 has displayed signs of action when personnel are not present. It also possesses both vision and hearing, though how these processes work is currently unknown. For more information, refer to Addendum Report E18. This evidence has led to petitioning to upgrade the object to Euclid class, justifying more secure arrangements for containment.
Alright, hold off. There's an
Document.
ad break. I just want to say, I really like that, like, imagining, like, say, there's just this SCP agent, like, walking through an abandoned elementary school, sees this calculator, and is just like, yeah, let me just put an equation in this, just make sure, 6 divided by 3, what's happening, huh?
What?
Huh?
I have to assume they have, like, some sort of device that, like, detects weird shit for them. Probably several.
Yeah. Alright, the ad break is over now.
Document number 168-1, Interview E12. Recorded log of dialogue between SCP-168 and Dr. Howard, dated January 14th of 2008. Replies from SCP-168 are to remain capitalized to indicate non-vocal communication and preserve authenticity. SCP-168 is also incapable of forming punctuation marks, save for periods, comma, and question mark. Begin log.
Do you want, the SCP or do you want Dr. Howard?
I'll take the SCP, why not?
Alright. Begin log. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you have a name?
Calculator?
Sorry, that's just really funny. Calculator? What the fuck do you mean? I'm a calculator. I don't have a name. Are you fucking stupid? May I call you 168?
I don't see why not.
Good. How long have you been alive, SCP-168?
What is alive?
Being able to think.
Oh. 12 years, 3 months, 12 days, 8 minutes, 32 seconds.
Why did that take so long?
No one's ever asked.
Sorry. Moving on. There is a name carved into your casing. Who is Eric?
Eric was nice. I liked Eric. Where's he gone?
I don't know where he's gone. 168.
What a forgetful boy. I hope he remembers to come back for me again.
Was Eric your owner?
Eric was nice.
Alright, do you function as a calculator, Shud 168?
I should hope so.
May I try using you to calculate an equation? Something like 2 plus 2?
Yes.
Dr. Howard enters 2 plus 2 and hits the equals key. The answer 4 appears on SB168's screen instantaneously. May I try another one without telling you what it is first?
Yes.
Dr. Howard enters 264 divided by 8 and hits the equals key. The answer 33 appears on SB168's screen after 12 seconds. Why did that take so long, SCP-168?
Long division is hard.
I think that's enough for today. I'll talk to you again tomorrow, 168.
Wait, it's dark in here. Can you open the window?
There is no window in this room, 168.
Can I have another room with a window in it?
I'm afraid not.
No fair.
I like this one.
This thing is just sentient.
Not fair.
God damn it.
Well, I'm a calculator. I should fucking hope so.
I really like the implication that this thing is a worse calculator because of its sentience. That's really funny. Document 168-2, Report E18. Upon entering storage room 185D to continue testing with SCP-168 on the morning of January 15th, 2008, Jesus Christ, this is a really long sentence, I discovered the only table in the room appended, with SCP-168 resting next to it, in an upright position. Its screen read, "How do you like that? Teach you to leave me in the dark all day. Jerk." Attempts to communicate with SCP-168 after that point were ignored. I suggest that we move it to room 221D if we want to get anything actually useful out of it. Dr. Howard. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume it's like a possessed calculator. That's really fucking funny.
Sorry, this is such a funny fucking mental image.
I love him. I love him so much.
How do you like that? Teach you to leave me in the
Never-
dark all day, jerk. And you fucking threw the table over.
I hate to. This is a hell of a sentence, but I think the possessed sentient calculator might be tied for today's best SCP, right up there with Paul McCartney.
Why the fuck is there an Eric tag?
Eric.
Is this like, I don't know if that's actually like a 683. I don't know if that's actually like a character.
I mean, isn't that like, you know the fucking ball of twine with eyes in it?
Yeah.
Doesn't that also say Eric?
It might have.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, that would be this one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's okay. So they're both related to this Eric.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know much about Eric. I've never really heard any deeper things about him like I have for Dr. Clef or
No,
Dr.
but-
Bright, but
I guess he's just a established character.
hey, maybe we'll figure it out.
No.
Alright, I say we get to 170 and then we call it for today, so that way we can hit 173 next time.
Let's just read this one and then call it. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna like do 172 and we start at 171.
No.
We'll see
We'll
what
see
the
how
next
long
one is.
170 is.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright. Item number SCP-169. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Because of its size, SCP-169 cannot and almost certainly will never be contained. No structure on Earth is large enough or strong enough to contain SCP-169. The location of SCP-169 is not precisely known, but imaging satellites and analysis of eccentricities on the Earth's orbit suggest SCP-169 is located in the southern Atlantic Ocean, possibly stretching around the tip of South America. See Addendum 0 to 20. Any satellite footage of a shift in the landmasses produced by SCP-169 is to be excised and destroyed by embedded agents. Descriptions. SCP-169 is surmised to be a marine arthropod of enormous size known as Leviathan by generations of sailors in oral history. Presumed at first to be a myth, SCP-169 was detected on Redacted by Mobile Task Force Gamma-6 during investigation of paranormal activity around the Redacted archipelago. Coordinates redacted during Redacted's... well, not even Redacted. What is that? During Y6's investigation. Dr. Redacted... Y60912 discovered the archipelago to have moved at least 3 kilometers from its original location. Though initially Dr. Redacted believed this motion to be due to unusually quick continental drift, a reconnaissance mission performed by the USS Redacted revealed the archipelago to be protrusions of rock-like plates covering an enormous organic mass.
Oh, okay, that's Epsilon.
What?
Upsilon. The Y symbol, that's Upsilon.
Okay.
I hate Greeks.
I'm just gonna keep saying it's Y. The Foundation was brought in immediately to begin threat management. Dr. Redacted and Dr. Redacted, Y60421, estimate SCP-169's body length to be between 2,000 and 8,000 kilometers. The creature is thought to have existed since the Precambrian era. No other specimens have been sighted. Almost nothing is known about SCP-169's habits, such as its reproductive capabilities, if any, food source, and nesting area, if any. Research regarding SCP-169 is pending approval. It's fucking Zanisha. One Piece reference. The archipelago known as the Redacted Islands have historically been uninhabited, though claimed by Redacted in Redacted. Upon handover to the Foundation, Redacted presence was evacuated under the pretense of rising sea levels, though the archipelago has remained above sea level for several millennia. Any change of depth by SCP-169 could result in the disappearance of the entire archipelago. SCP-169 moves slowly, less than 1 kilometer per week, but seems only to be adrift. Its method of propulsion is unknown. Regular seismic tremors seem to indicate breathing about every 3 months, causing the minor shifts in the island's terrain, suggesting that the creature is probably dormant. Information suppression. The USS Redacted was scuttled with all hands immediately after the discovery of SCP-169 with the permission of the American government. The public is forbidden from entering the archipelago created by SCP-169 due to the conveniently large number of resident endangered bird species, as indicated above. Satellite footage is to be doctored in order to suppress knowledge of SCP-169's movement. NASA is currently cooperating with the Foundation in keeping the existence of SCP-169 quiet, and is currently permitting the Foundation use of their satellites for photographic use. Addendum 020. In 1990 Redacted, the U.S. National... How did I read that as national? I'm a toddler.
Yes.
The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, an American scientific agency unaffiliated with and unaware of the existence of the Foundation, detected an ultra-low-frequency underwater sound emanating from around approximately kilometers from the southwestern coast of South America. Despite the best efforts of Embedded Agent Redacted, IA-1522, news of the sound leaked to the media, receiving significant media coverage. Foundation analysis concluded that a massive underwater organism was the source of the noise, and SCP-169 was hypothesized to be its source, as its head is well within the possible locations of the rest of SCP-169. The sound confirms Y60421's hypothesis that SCP-169 is gargantuan in size. Future efforts by scientific or civilian teams to determine the source of the noise must be stopped by any means necessary.
What?
Great, so it's just fucking floating around out there. It could just bump into the Gulf of Mexico at any time.
Could just bump into the big ass eel that they make juice out of.
No, that's way deeper down in the ocean.
Nonsense. Who's to say it won't go down further?
I think we read this one.
Alright, how about it?
Alright, fair enough. This will be the last SCP for today, chat. And then we'll hit
You're
SCP-173
not
next
weaseling your way out
time.
of this fucker. I read like half of McCartney.
That's fair. SCP-170. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-170 presents no danger and as such can be contained safely in any storage locker. However, due to the potential misuse of the substance, as well as the limited quantity of SCP-170 available, no personnel may remove it from storage without prior approval from Dr. Redacted. Description: SCP-170 appears to be a standard tube of superglue in a yellow tube 13 centimeters long. There is no manufacturer information or any other text on the outside of the container, apart from the word superglue printed in bold letters on the front. Whenever any amount of the substance is applied to solid material and that solid is put in contact with any surface, both objects lose molecular cohesion in the area surrounding the contact points, allowing one to be pushed through the other. The effects only last moments. However, within a third of a second of the two surfaces making contact, the ability of each path through each other is nullified, leaving both permanently bonded together. SB-170 was seized in a raid on an illegal laboratory and redacted. The unusual properties of SB-170 were unknown until a standard test on all seized materials was performed on it. A laboratory technician used a pipette to extract a small amount of SB-170 for analysis. Upon attempting to dispense the substance onto a slide, the pipette immediately passed straight through the slide, which was on a mount. Further tests were run upon the pipette/slide, and it was discovered that they were bonded on the molecular level. Upon hearing of this, SB personnel were dispatched to confiscate all seized materials. Notable tests. Test 04. Test materials. 1 heavy-duty chain, weights of various sizes. Procedure. A small amount of SB-170 was applied to the last link of the chain, which was then bonded to the reinforced ceiling of containment area 17F. Weights of various sizes were then hung on the chain to determine the structural failing point of the bond. Results. After approximately 9 metric tons were suspended, the chain finally snapped, but not at the bond point. It snapped at the 9th link from the bottom. All links apart from the one embedded in the ceiling were tested and showed signs of distortion and stretching. However, the bond point in the ceiling showed no sign of weakness or separation of chain and ceiling. Test 07. Test materials. 2 identical cubes of 24 karat gold, as close to 100% pure as possible. Procedure. Using robotic arms to ensure perfect alignment, Cube 1, the cube with SB-170 applied, was pushed completely through Cube 2, leaving what appeared to be 1 gold cube equal in size to either of the original cubes. Results. Upon examination of the sole remaining cube, it was found to have a density of 38.6 grams per cubic centimeter, which is precisely twice the density of gold. Even melting the sample did nothing to change this, as the resulting liquid gold also had the same density. This implies that the substances don't displace each other. Every atom is accounted for. Analysis of the atoms has proven that they are regular gold atoms, implying that they didn't undergo nuclear fusion to accomplish the increase in density. The atoms are simply packed into a smaller space than the laws of physics would seem to allow. In light of this experiment, Dr. Redacted has requested permission to use SB-170 to glue 2 pieces of uranium together to make a more fissile sample. Due to the obvious safety concerns this poses, this request was denied. Test 12. Test materials. 1 XD-class personnel. 1 wooden desk. Procedure. First test using live biological subjects. D-class personnel had a small amount of SB-170 applied to his right index finger and was instructed to poke the desk. Couldn't they have done it with a different finger?
No.
I feel like that's like one of the more important ones.
They're D-class, who gives a shit?
I mean, still.
These are people who were on death row.
Who knows? Maybe the next fucking SCP they have them text is the finger eater, alright?
Well, then he's got 9 more.
Results. Subject's fingers sank into the desk upon the first knuckle. Despite obvious panic, the subject reported no pain, discomfort, or sensation below the bond point. However, his finger quickly began swelling and turned purple, as his circulatory system continued pumping blood to an area that could no longer return it. Finger was amputated between the first and second knuckle. Test 19. Test materials. 1 Pratt & Whitney F100 jet engine. The reinforced ceiling of containment area 19B. Was this intended? What the hell is it? Oh, okay. Procedure. SB-170 was applied to the jet engine mountings, which were quickly pushed 3.2 centimeters, approximately 1 inch, into the ceiling of the chamber. After connecting an appropriate fuel supply and control system, the jet engine was fired. Results. The engine was run continuously at high speed for 40 minutes, while cameras monitored the join point for any signs of stress. While small cracks appeared in the concrete around the join point, there were no indications of any possible structural failures of separation of the two materials, even under force of 120,000 newtons.
That's an aside. When they say amputated, do you think that they just had one of the fucking MTF guard or like one of the guards just like pull out their combat knife?
Probably. I mean, that's at the bone.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Listen, they've got military implements.
They've got the 1,000-degree fucking combat knife.
No, shut up.
Oh. Alright, I'd say that was a pretty good reading stream. I
Minus you
apologize that...
having an aneurysm at the start, yeah.
Yeah, I literally had just woken up and jumped out of bed, got on my computer, was like, fuck.
Yeah, I could tell.
I think it was still a good stream regardless, but hopefully
Yeah,
I can get my sleep back on track.
Admittedly, we were a bit harsh on the McCartney article, but that's not so much an issue with the article as we said.
Yeah, it was well written. It was
I just
well
hate
written.
how they format modern SCP.
Yeah. I did like it. I think it was good.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the point of Draugr class.
Okay, I kind of get it, but like, why? It just
listen.
it
You just label that as like fucking Keter or something. Because if
it's fucking
everyone finds out
unnecessary.
about it,
Again,
like, yeah.
I really wish they had like an actual like specifically just a subclass.
It doesn't
underneath
matter
their
that the
regular class.
original cause of the anomalous activity is dead. There's still anomalous activity. It does not matter. The
It's
main
still doing
problem
weird shit.
with the SCP is the fact that, like, if somebody just plays a video across, like, worldwide broadcast being like, hey, guys, remember the year of, like, fucking 1961? And then everyone around the world from that time period starts just, like, fucking vomiting and having, like, major, like, fucking problems. That doesn't change if the original cause of the SCP is dead.
This is a public disservice announcement. You are now manually breathing.
Yeah, like, it does not matter if the original cause is dead. That is a header class scenario.
It's bad. You don't want that.
Yeah. So I don't think Draugr is a real thing. That makes no sense. Cancel my vote. Damn it. Alright. That will be all for today. Thank you everybody for watching, and goodbye.